Murdo Fraser.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the Scottish Government what its response is to the latest data reportedly showing that a majority of Scottish taxpayers now pay higher income tax than those elsewhere in the United Kingdom.
Cabinet Secretary.
According to the Scottish Fiscal Commission's December forecast, 52% of Scottish taxpayers will pay slightly less income tax in 2023-24 than if they lived elsewhere in the UK for the sixth consecutive year. The Commission will publish updated forecasts incorporating the latest economic data alongside the medium-term financial strategy tomorrow. We have always prioritised a fair and progressive approach to taxation, one that balances the need to raise revenue with the impact on households and the economy. For income tax, this has seen additional revenue raised for the Scottish budget, with lower earners protected from higher taxes.
Murdo Fraser.
Can I thank the Cabinet Secretary for her response, but I fear the data she's quoting from the Fiscal Commission is now out of date, given that the most recent data shows that anyone earning over £27,850, now the majority of Scots are paying more tax than those elsewhere in the UK. Now, I would commend to her the very interesting article in the Herald newspaper this morning by her former ministerial colleague Ivan McKee, now, of course, a member of the government in waiting on the backbenches, in which he argues for the Scottish Government to make Scotland a more attractive place for workers to come from other parts of the United Kingdom, something I think we would all agree with. And yet we all hear from the business community, and particularly those in sectors like finance, the difficulties they have in encouraging people to come here because of differential tax rates. So how can we attract more people to come and work here when they feel they're being punished with higher taxes to make up for SNP waste and financial mismanagement?
Cabinet Secretary.
Well, first of all, let me say, of course, each year we do publish the distributional analysis of our income tax policy to transparently set out the impacts, and that's all there for everyone to see. And of course, the median wage for 23-24 that is used in this analysis derives, of course, from the independent forecasts from the Scottish Fiscal Commission. And what is clear from the IFS analysis is that the households with children in approximately the bottom third of the income distribution in Scotland will gain around £1,200 per year as a result of our tax and social security policy. At the end of the day, this is all about choices. Now, had we followed the choices of Murdo Fraser, who of course backed Liz Truss and emulated the same tax-cutting policies, then he knows, of course, we would have had hundreds of millions of pounds less available for public spending. And on his final point, Scotland continues to see consistent positive net inward migration from the rest of the UK. Those are the facts which rather stands in contrast to the assertion that Murdo Fraser made earlier on. So we will continue to make sure that we balance the needs of households with the needs of public services, and we'll continue to do that. And through the summer, I will engage with people from a range of organisations in order to ensure that we listen to those views as we go towards setting the tax policy for next year's budget. And of course, happy to engage with any suggestions from Murdo Fraser or his colleagues, but the budget has to balance. And of course, as he knows, many of his colleagues come here asking for more money. So in any tax policies put forward by the Tories, that has to balance with the availability of resources for public spending.
I'm going to need a bit more brevity in responses, as well as the